43 tons of steel, 1,200 horsepower, a single blade that moves 45 cubic yards per pass. Bulldozers don't push through obstacles, they erase them. So, what engineering makes this kind of crushing power possible? The secret to this relentless forward force begins deep within the drivetrain, where raw engine power is converted into pure, usable ground-shredding torque. While a massive Caterpillar D11T boasts 1,200 horsepower and weighs around 43 tons, and the smaller John Deere 1050K commands 350 horsepower at nearly 43 tons, horsepower alone is not the star of the show. Speed is useless when you are trying to move a mountain. Instead, these machines rely on massive planetary gear final drives that multiply engine output, channeling immense force directly into the heavy steel tracks. This mechanical architecture ensures that instead of spinning out, the bulldozer stays anchored, transforming engine rotation into a slow, sustained, unstoppable shove. It is this continuous, track-driven muscle that grips the earth, pushes through extreme resistance, and turns solid obstacles into mere debris. The John Deere 1050K spreads its 43-ton weight across 41 square meters of track contact. This immense footprint limits ground pressure to just 15 pounds per square inch, or 101 kilopascals. This engineered balance prevents the machine from sinking into soft mud, allowing the heavy steel grousers to bite deep into the soil to secure a relentless grip. When pushing against solid rock, the machine relies on its massive frame to absorb the shock. Heavy steel undercarriage armor and reinforced push frames protect vital internal systems from brutal impact and constant abrasion. This raw mass acts as a physical anchor. The true strength of a bulldozer lives within this heavily armored spine, creating a stable platform that directs immense energy directly into the obstacle. This massive buildup of force ultimately meets the earth at the blade, not a simple scoop, but a brutal force multiplier. Its curved, angled steel doesn't just strike material, it rolls and channels it, turning raw forward shove into unstoppable leverage. A Caterpillar D11T, armed with a massive universal U-blade, can plow up to 45 cubic yards of debris in a single, earth-shaking pass. Switch to a narrower, straight S-blade, and the capacity drops to about 12 cubic yards, as digging resistance spikes with every inch of blade depth, soil cohesion, and width. For the toughest obstacles, heavy steel ripper tines claw into the substrate, fracturing solid rock before the blade sweeps it away. In this final mechanical equation, massive engine torque and planted weight combine with blade physics to crush everything in its path. On active job sites, this mechanical engineering transforms raw theory into brutal ground-clearing action. To tear up deeply embedded tree stumps, thick root networks, and buried concrete rubble, a bulldozer relies on pure, unrelenting traction. The massive tracks bite into unstable, muddy earth, clawing for grip while the drivetrain forces the heavy steel blade forward. As tons of stubborn dirt and tangled debris pile high, the machine refuses to slip or stall. It simply keeps moving, leveling the rugged terrain flat through sheer, continuous physical dominance. That unstoppable muscle shifts from clearing land to tearing down concrete structures. Authorized demolition relies on step-by-step sequencing rather than reckless impact. Working within tight perimeter controls, operators target specific structural weaknesses to bring down entire buildings. The machine's immense hydraulic force is concentrated on load-bearing pillars, directing thousands of pounds of pressure to trigger clean, vertical collapses. By focusing brute force with absolute discipline, the bulldozer safely buckles massive steel and masonry walls. It is a masterclass in controlled destruction, showing that raw power is most effective when it is completely directed. On June 4, 2004, that absolute control shattered in Granby, Colorado. Marvin Heemeyer took a 50-ton Komatsu D355A bulldozer and turned its immense engineering against the town itself. Over 2 hours, Heemeyer drove the custom-armored machine through 13 buildings, including the town hall, causing over $7 million in property damage. By reinforcing the steel chassis with concrete and steel plating, he bypassed standard safety limits, converting a construction tool into an unguided force. This rampage ended only when the machine became physically trapped, proving the devastating capability of heavy machinery stripped of civil control. The destruction in Granby left 13 buildings severely damaged, resulting in over $7 million in property losses. Inside the trapped cabin, Heemeyer died by a self-inflicted gunshot, though no one else was killed during the assault. This event reveals the massive gap between industrial capability and criminal damage. The immense power that clears rugged land and tears down old concrete structures remains an engineering marvel designed for progress. When stripped of civil control, that same mechanical force becomes purely destructive, proving that the ultimate strength of these massive machines relies entirely on the responsibility of the hands at the controls. Today, our world is constantly reshaped by these relentless steel beasts. No matter the obstacle, raw mechanical force always wins. Subscribe for more epic heavy machinery action.